What I found may shock you. Is therapy really the best route to help you manage your ADHD? Or is it just a stigma that leads you off with more questions than when you got there? Hey, I'm Nick McLaughlin, your friendly neighborhood ADHD coach with ADHD. My goal is to do one thing today, to make sure you have no other questions about therapy for ADHD management. Okay, so today we're going to be going over therapy and how it helps you manage your ADHD. Step one, how does it help your executive functioning? By the way, these are all based off of my personal experience and my clients' experiences when I talk to them. The real thing I'm trying to show you here is not therapy doesn't help or does help. What I'm trying to do here is show you what you're expecting and then make it really fit to your lifestyle instead of just going to therapy and having it not work for you at all. None of this is to put down therapy. In fact, I would say it's the most important thing you could possibly do. So first off, what I found for therapy was that, of course, the emotional regulation was supremely helpful. And since I was better at regulating my emotions, it became easier to focus a little bit. But the problem with this, like medication, if you see my medication video, is it didn't help organization and it didn't help my time management. So overall for executive functioning, therapy wasn't really that helpful, except in emotional regulation. Now, step one was basically to see how you would expect yourself to perform. Step two is to see how the therapy performs for you, basically off day one. It only takes one day to have a breakthrough. So I wouldn't say that this stands for every day in a session, but I'd say the average day looks like this. So it could be really anywhere in this area here, but I would say most of the time it's gonna be here. Step three is to see how is therapy going to treat me throughout the year. Here's another really important thing. Based off of that, you are pretty much getting little breakthroughs here and there, and then it's kind of just like stagnant. If you're showing up and you're really committed, you will eventually see some breakthroughs. Based off my experiences with my clients, listening to them, hearing their experiences, it just felt stagnant on most sessions. So what I mean with breakthrough and stagnant here, it's not about clarity in life. This is just about ADHD management, like managing your executive functioning. So using my personal experience and my clients' experience with therapists, we haven't really seen that much of an effect with therapy for managing with tangible steps. However, this is very important. In terms of managing your emotional regulation, that is where therapy crushes it. Think of it like getting a cavity filled at the dentist. Now, medication didn't solve the problem, it numbed the problem, like where a dentist numbs the tooth. The therapist comes in like when they drill into the tooth and take the gunk out to make space for you to perform better and live your life. Now, as a coach, what I basically do is I come in, give you the tools, and I fill the tooth with all the tools you need to manage your day better. All right, pros and cons. The pros, much better emotional regulation. They can help you get diagnosed, and you get an overall sense of ease because they basically help you lighten the emotional load. Cons, they can be pricey without insurance. There's no clear endpoint, like you could be going to a therapist for a long time. I've talked to a lot of clients about this and they've experienced the same thing as me. So even though therapists help a lot with emotional regulation, our experience has been pretty poor in terms of giving us tangible action steps. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't see a therapist because they specialize in emotional regulation, and that's one of the most important things you should be working on. My final note is this. It's really, really important. They specialize in mental health and understanding the brain, but not so much productivity. They can help with some productivity here and there, but not much more than you probably already know, to be honest. And funny enough, I know this because I've had a lot of therapy clients. Therapists aren't really taught much on ADHD management in terms of productivity. However, if you are going to a therapist expecting to manage your emotional regulation and getting out that mental gunk and just feeling better overall, then you'll be really happy you went. But I think it's really important just to at least get a checkup. We get tune-ups for our cars every year. We go to dentists once or twice a year, hopefully. We go to doctors once a year to check up on our health. But how often do we go check up on our mental health? I just don't feel like it's a good idea to wait until you're in pain to go to a doctor. Because of that, I would say no matter what, regardless of if they can help you with productivity or not, I think it's a good idea just to go. Just go get a checkup on you. You deserve that. If you want to 2 to 5x your productivity and get free productivity tools, click the link in the description below. Later, neighbors.